Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks on Thursday, May 21, 2020. Would you look at that? Susan floats. Susan's floating for her first time in well over 20 years. Today is her sea trial. The guy's first task involves adjusting the shaft log so that we get a couple drips a minute out of it, and then we'll fire her up and watch her romp on Lake Champlain. The exciting news for me is that our home base is Lake Champlain, and her new steward's home base is Lake Champlain. Susan will remain on Lake Champlain, where she spent many a decade long ago. This was and still is her home. Her Vermont registration remains as it was many a decade ago. Several people asked, how do I know it's a yacht tender? Why are you claiming it's a yacht tender? Well, I guess because that's what Lyman named the model. And when you read about the Lyman pre-war yacht tenders in their catalogs, guess what? They're called yacht tenders. That was the name. Shepherd had sportsmen. Lyman had runabouts, but Lyman also had a few yacht tenders early on. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Vermont. And she is glistening in the wonderful sun we are enjoying today. This manual windshield wiper is just as cute as can be. I guess we won't test it today, but her new owners might. All of her hardware, as Mickey likes to say, was transformed from a bunch of junk into jewelry by Mickey Dupuy, DNS, Custom Metal Restoration, Holyoke, Mass. Her gauge panel, which is something to be seen, was totally restored by Shauna Whiting, Cochin Instruments in Minnesota. Her upholstery was done by Mark's Upholstery in Middlebury, Vermont. And her, as we heard yesterday, her Nordberg 4-cylinder 60 horsepower flathead engine is both original and was fabricated by Nordberg. Nordberg is most known for its very large pre-war industrial diesel power plants, but it, like the other engine makers of the time, needed to keep everything running, and it, like Chris Craft, bought long and short blocks from Hercules and then added everything else, its own badging, its own exhaust manifold cast with its name. Some of the mounts are slightly different, the engine mounts. You'll see the starting motor and generator are quite bulbous. That's a larger diameter than we've seen in Chris MBLs. So we'll let the guys finish up adjusting the shaft log, and then we'll fire her up and be on it. There she goes, under her own power.
Should I put a little more RPM in the idle?
That's quite a beautiful little boat, huh? Look at that, huh? Pumping some water. There goes Susan on Lake Champlain. I can't wait till I finish processing this video so I can share it with Sue and Dana. Her new stewards, Sue and Dana, are particularly schooled and steeped in Lymans. Susie's little tiny Lyman outboard won Best in Class for Lymans in last year's International ACBS Boat Show. And of course this year she was hoping to bring Susan to the international show in Idaho, but with COVID-19, it's quite likely that, as with all of the other shows on the East Coast and many well west of here, personal safety, keeping people alive, is the first order of the day. So Joe's taking a pass around. I know what he wants to do. He wants to mat the throttle, but you can't do that to a newly rebuilt engine who's running under load for the very first time. But she has a beautiful bow wake. Here he'll come by. It's coming right, whoop, sorry. Coming right at us. Putting a little sugar to her. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There she goes. Anthony's luxuriating in her aft-facing aft cockpit. Continues to pump lots of water. Kind of an exciting day. Here she comes again. Rather beautiful. So there, Susan, the 1940 16-foot Lyman Yacht Tender, cypress planked, Nordberg powered, has completed and crushed her sea trial. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boatworks.